Thank you for your love, your constant support, and every generous donation that helps this mission grow. Your presence here means more than words can express. With gratitude and light, there comes a moment in life when everything changes. It is not the events around us that change first, but something deep within us that begins to awaken. It is as if a silent voice calls out, even when the world outside seems too noisy to hear. That voice is the calling, and only the chosen are able to listen. Being chosen does not mean being better than others. It means that you carry a different mission. You feel things more intensely, question what no one dares to ask, and see signs where others only see routine. The truth is that the chosen have always been different, even when they tried to fit in. There is something in your essence that does not allow you to remain asleep. And no matter how much you try to ignore it, the calling returns until it is no longer possible to pretend you did not hear it. This awakening is lonely, sometimes painful, but absolutely necessary. It pulls you away from the superficial and brings you closer to who you truly are. It is no coincidence that you are here now. If this message resonates within you, it is because you are ready. Ready to remember who you are. Ready to recognize the purpose you carry. Ready to accept that, despite the falls, you were set apart for something greater. Before continuing, if this message touched your heart, I invite you to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and activate notifications. This helps me reach more people who are also awakening. My name is George, and I am here to walk with you on this spiritual journey. Let us move forward together. There are moments in life when everything around us seems the same, but inside us, something begins to change. A strange feeling that we are being called, even without understanding exactly where to or why. It is as if something were moving within the soul, awakening us from a deep sleep. This is the beginning of the awakening. And not just anyone feels this. It is the chosen ones. Perhaps you have already noticed that certain things that once satisfied you now seem empty. What used to entertain now merely distracts. Ordinary conversations sound shallow, and what was once comfortable now seems far too small for who you are becoming. It is a silent but constant feeling. You know you are changing, even without having the exact words to explain it. The chosen begin to awaken when they realize that the world no longer responds as it once did. Distractions can no longer hold their attention. Old desires lose their strength, and a desire to understand the why of everything begins to grow. It is not about searching for something outside. It is about beginning to remember who you are on the inside, as if the soul were opening its eyes for the first time. This awakening does not come with trumpets, nor with absolute certainties. In fact, it usually arises in the midst of confusion. Many awaken after difficult moments, losses, disappointments, failures. This happens because painful experiences break down the walls of the ego and force us to look at what is within. Pain forces us to stop, and the silence that follows reveals the truth that was always there. You are not like the others. You were set apart for something beyond the ordinary. You begin to see the patterns of the world more clearly. You realize that many people live on autopilot, repeating routines without questioning anything. You see how people distract themselves so as not to feel, talk too much so as not to think, and cling to everything so as not to lose control. But you can no longer live like that. Something within you is seeking real meaning. This is the beginning of your alignment with your purpose. Spiritual awakening is not an escape from reality. On the contrary, it is the moment when you begin to face reality head-on, with more conscious eyes. You begin to ask questions that many avoid. Why am I here? What is my mission? What did I come to do in this world? These are questions that are uncomfortable at first, but that open the doors to a life with more presence, purpose, and truth. If you feel that this description fits what you are experiencing, do not ignore it. It is your spirit showing that it is long past time to assume who you are. The time of living asleep is over. The soul is knocking at the door, asking for space to flourish. And the first step is not to understand everything, but to recognize it. Yes, I am awakening, and that changes everything. This is the beginning of the journey of the chosen. Those who no longer accept the surface, who want to go deep, who desire to live in truth. The world may not understand what is happening to you, but do not worry, because the world does not need to understand. This is a process between you and the divine, and those who awaken do not go back to sleep. After awakening, something curious happens. You begin to feel that you are living between two worlds. On one side, there is your past, your old habits, the beliefs you were taught, and the people who knew you in an old way. On the other, a new consciousness is emerging, a new self that is still taking shape. And in the middle of it all, there is you, confused, restless, but deeply transformed. It is like having one foot inside and one foot outside a house that no longer serves you. You can still see the walls that once protected you, but now they seem to limit you. The repeated dialogues, the roles you used to play, the environments where you once felt comfortable. All of this begins to feel strange. You have changed, but the world has not yet noticed. And this gap can be painful. The transition is neither fast nor linear. On some days, you feel as if you have understood everything. You speak with conviction, act with courage, and feel connected to something greater. But on others, you find yourself doubting everything, including yourself. The oscillation between light and shadow is a natural part of this process. The problem is that we often confuse this instability with failure. But it is, in fact, a bridge. The chosen live this period with intensity. On the outside, they may seem calm. On the inside, they are in turmoil. It is a battlefield between the old version, which no longer serves, and the new one, which has not yet been fully built. It takes strength to cross this stage, but above all, it takes patience. Patience with the process, with the ups and downs, with the slowness that the soul demands. The mind tries to rush, the ego demands results, but the spirit knows that true transformation is not measured in days. And you are being transformed, not by appearances, but by depth. While others live by appearances, you are being rebuilt from the inside. That is why everything seems more difficult, because it is real. At this moment, it is easy to think that you are alone, that no one understands what you are going through. But the truth is that there are other chosen ones living the same process. In silence, behind the scenes, far from the eyes of the world. You are not alone. This feeling of loneliness is also part of the path, because the chosen learn to depend less on external approval and more on their own internal connection. Trust this. If you feel this discomfort, this urgency, this inner calling that does not fall silent, it is because you are on the right path. It is not a sign that you are lost. It is a sign that you are under construction. The universe does not awaken someone for nothing. The chaos you feel is, in fact, the reorganization of your essence. You are no longer in the same place as before, and you have not yet arrived at the new one. You are in between. And in this space, perfection is not required, only presence. Stay steady. The path of the chosen is not the easiest, but it is the truest. And it is on this path that you will discover not only who you are, but who you were born to be. After awakening and crossing the first steps of the transition, you begin to face a new voice: doubt. It does not shout, but whispers. It appears in moments when you are tired, on days when you see no progress, on nights when you wonder if you are really on the right path. What if none of this works? What if I am deceiving myself? These questions arise as if they came from you. But in truth, they are the test. Doubt is an old acquaintance of those who are growing. Many believe that spiritual growth brings immediate peace, but in truth, it brings awareness. And if you are more aware, you are more sensitive to internal tensions. This is not a sign of regression. It is a sign that you are seeing what previously went unnoticed. The chosen do not have an easier life. They have more open eyes. And with that come the inner battles. Doubt at this point is not there to defeat you, but to train you. It appears not to prove that you are wrong, but to see if you will continue even without guarantees. Because this is what differentiates those who are called from those who are chosen. The chosen continue even without certainty. They walk in the direction of what they feel, even when they see nothing clearly. How many times have you thought about giving up but could not? Not because everything was fine, but because even in the worst moment, a part of you still believed. Even without proof, even without answers. That silent part that never falls silent is the flame of the chosen. No matter how much doubt tries to extinguish it, it always reignites. No matter how small the faith, it endures. The presence of doubt is a sign of movement. People who have stopped growing no longer feel this tension. They have conformed. You still feel it because you still want. You still seek. You still believe that there is something greater waiting for you. And that hope, even fragile, is one of the strongest signs that you were set apart for something different. The spiritual journey is less about feeling certain every day, and more about continuing even on the days when everything seems meaningless. True growth happens precisely when you do not give up in the dark, when you take steps even without knowing where they will lead, when you choose to trust the invisible instead of giving in to fear. This is spiritual courage. Remember this. Doubt is not weakness. It is evidence that you are changing. It is the battlefield of the old mind trying to prevent the birth of the new consciousness. And every time you face that voice and keep walking, you prove that you are ready, not for being perfect, but for being willing. So if today you are being tested, know that it is not the end, it is the process. And if the voice of doubt is speaking, it is because something inside you is becoming stronger. The most important thing is not to feel confident every day, but to continue even on the days when everything collapses inside. This is a sign of preparation. This is being chosen. There comes a moment in the journey when you begin to realize that pain did not come to punish you, but to prepare you. It is when you look back and see that in every fall, you learned something. In every loss, you became stronger. In every silence, you heard something you would not have heard in the noise. True transformation does not happen in comfort. It is born from what disturbs the most. For the chosen, pain is never random. It is a tool, a silent teacher. It reveals what is ready to be healed. When something inside you hurts, it is because it is coming out of hiding. Pain shows where there are old wounds, forgotten fears, inherited beliefs that no longer serve you. It is an invitation to look directly at what has been ignored for a long time. While many run from pain, the chosen are called to go through it, not for pleasure, but for purpose. The butterfly is only born after the caterpillar completely dissolves. There is no transformation without deconstruction. The old version needs to die to make space for the new being. And this process, no matter how confusing it may seem, is sacred. You have probably gone through moments when you thought, "I can't take it anymore." But even so, you continued, even crying, even tired, even without understanding. This persistence did not come from logic. It came from your soul, because the chosen do not live only by what they see, they live by what they feel. And deep down, you always knew you were being refined. Pain, when well understood, becomes a portal. It is what pushes you inward. It is what dismantles false supports and shows who you really are. And, as paradoxical as it may seem, it is in your moments of greatest vulnerability that you find your true strength. Because there, no image or masks remain. Only you, in essence. It is natural to feel anger, sadness, or confusion during this process. You are not failing for feeling. You are feeling because you are alive. What cannot happen is using these feelings as an anchor. Feel, yes, but then transform. Use pain as energy to grow, not as justification to stop. That is what the chosen do. They feel everything, and still they move forward. While the world seeks comfort, the chosen seek truth. And truth sometimes hurts, but it liberates. Every tear you shed carried a part of the old version that no longer served you. Every silence you faced was the fertile soil where new answers were being planted. And every moment of solitude was a call to reconnect with something greater. You are being shaped not only to achieve something, but to sustain what is coming. Many desire success, but few are willing to bear the responsibility it brings. The chosen go through this preparation precisely so they do not collapse when the harvest arrives. The process is intense, but necessary. And everything that seems to be breaking you now is in fact building you. Therefore, trust. Pain did not come to destroy you. It came to reveal the strength that already existed within you. You are not failing. You are being forged. Do not lose sight of that. And if today you are feeling the weight of the process, remember, gold only shines after passing through fire. And you are in the fire not because you are weak, but because you are chosen. There are phases when everything seems stopped. No sign, no answer, no visible progress. It is as if life were put on pause, but inside, something continues to move. It is in this silence that the soul is tested. It is in this time without confirmations that the chosen show their strength. Not by shouting to the world how much they can endure, but by continuing to walk when no one is watching. Persisting without applause, without guarantees, is one of the greatest proofs of spiritual maturity. The chosen learn that life is not lived by sensation, but by direction. Because you will not always feel motivated, but that does not mean you should stop. What sustains the path is not the emotion of the moment, but the commitment to who you are becoming. Many people associate progress with constant enthusiasm. But in truth, the greatest spiritual leaps happen on the days when everything seems stagnant. It is easy to believe when everything is going well. Difficult is maintaining faith when nothing confirms what you feel inside. But that is where true alignment happens. You are not stopped. You are being tested in silence. And your consistency on ordinary days is worth more than enthusiasm on extraordinary days. You keep showing up for yourself, even tired, even without recognition, even without knowing what comes next. This is spiritual maturity. This is proof that you no longer need external signs to continue. The universe tests with silence those who are being prepared for great things, not to punish you, but to strengthen you. If you continue even without feeling, it is because you have already understood that true faith does not depend on sensations. And this is the silent strength of the chosen. walking even when everything seems stopped. During the journey, there comes a point where you feel like you are coming apart. Things that once made sense now seem irrelevant. People you once connected with no longer vibrate at the same frequency. Certain old dreams no longer excite you. It seems like you are losing everything, but in truth, you are being redesigned. The chosen need to go through this phase to discover their true identity. It is difficult because no one teaches us how to deal with emptiness. But it is in emptiness that the new identity begins to emerge. You are not in crisis, you are in transition. And every transition requires space. The old must leave so that the new can enter. But often, this process seems disorganized. You feel like you are losing control, when in fact, you are being aligned. Deconstruction is frightening because it touches everything we believed ourselves to be. But little by little, we realize that we are not what we own, nor what we do, nor what others expect of us. We are essence, and the chosen are called to live from this essence. A life of purpose is not built on appearance, but on truth. You are not regressing. You are unlearning what no longer belongs to you. And that requires courage. Courage to strip away old layers, to let go of old characters, to release the need for approval. This phase can be lonely, but it is also liberating. It is in this phase that the chosen find their voice, their mission, their authentic way of existing. Do not be afraid of seeming lost. Sometimes to find yourself, you must first get lost. Reconstruction will come, and it will be firm, solid, and true. Because this time, it will be based on who you really are, and not on what the world expected of you. After walking so long in the dark, enduring silences and crossing pains, there comes a moment when everything begins to make sense. Not because the circumstances have changed, but because you have changed on the inside. The clarity that was once missing begins to emerge. The chosen look back and understand that everything was part of the process. No tear was wasted. No silence was in vain. This is the turning point. When you stop seeing yourself as someone lost and begin to recognize yourself as someone prepared. You are no longer waiting for permission to exist. You have understood that the strength was always there, only dormant, and now it awakens. You are no longer a broken version trying to fix yourself. You are a conscious being taking your place. The true turning point does not happen when everything goes right. It happens when you stop sabotaging yourself, when you stop comparing yourself, when you understand that you do not need to prove anything. You only need to be who you were born to be. And this, the chosen know how to do. They do not live to please, they live to transform. And transformation begins from the inside out. Now that the inner reconstruction is almost complete, the external world begins to align. People, opportunities, answers, everything begins to appear naturally. Not because you forced it, but because now you are ready to receive. The universe only delivers when you are able to sustain what you asked for, and now you can. If you have made it this far, congratulations. You are completing a cycle. You are assuming your mission. You are ready not only to dream, but to live. Because the chosen were not born to hide. They were born to illuminate. And finally, you understood that. Getting here was not easy. It took courage to awaken, to face doubt, to cross silence, to let go of the old identity and still remain standing. Many would have given up, but you stayed. And that alone already sets you apart. You are no longer who you were at the beginning of this journey. The path shaped you. The pain refined you. And now you can see more clearly who you always were. The truth is that what you were seeking was not outside. It was within, waiting to be discovered. Everything that seemed confusing, all the pauses, all the silent struggles, none of it was in vain. It was preparation. And what once seemed like delay now reveals its purpose: to make you capable of living what only a chosen one can sustain. You do not need permission to move forward. The answer you were waiting for has already arrived. It is in everything you felt while listening to this message. If each word touched something inside you, it is because your soul already recognizes this truth. You were set apart, not to hide, but to guide. Your light is not a detail, it is a calling, and the time has come to honor it. This does not mean that everything will be easy from now on, but it does mean that you are more aware, more prepared, and more whole than ever. From this point on, you no longer walk as one who is searching. You walk as one who knows. And this silent certainty will be your foundation on good days and on difficult days. The chosen do not live by emotion. They live by direction. Do not worry if the world has not yet understood your process. You were not chosen to be understood. You were chosen to be transformative, and those who transform almost always walk ahead of their time. That is why not everyone will see, but those who need to see will. The next step is simple, even if it does not seem so. Continue. Do not stop now. Do not disbelieve what you felt. Do not return to what put you to sleep. You are not alone on this journey. There are others awakening. There are other chosen ones hearing the same calling, and the more you align with your essence, the easier it will be to recognize them along the path. If this message spoke to you, it is because something inside you already knew. I only put into words what your soul had been trying to tell you for a long time. And if you made it to the end, with your heart touched, then yes, you are ready. Ready not to end the journey, but to truly begin it. Now, with awareness, faith, and purpose. My name is George, and if you felt this connection, I invite you to subscribe to the channel, like this video, and share your experience in the comments. This helps this message reach other chosen ones who are also ready but do not yet know it. Thank you for walking with me this far. May your light continue to illuminate where many still grope in the dark. And remember, you are not lost. You are awakening.